the Noble Triple Gem bless you all. We meet once again after our previous discussion of the teachings of the Lord Buddha. And before proceeding, we will pay our homage to the Perfect One by chanting the Namaskar 3 times. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Okay. So we meet today after having heard many series of discussions that we did in the previous months. With guidance of them, we hope that your lives are continuously being washed with this essence of Dhamma. So today we are going to look at a different aspect of our life. Dear children, there might have been some days in your life which are so gloomy and so negative. When you have started the day, all the negative things happen, one after the other. And until the very end of the day, you come across all the negativity, bad remarks, neglection, accusations, and hurtful comments. Why do you get these kind of things? And when it happens, why does it happen only to you? You may have questioned yourself at that times. Dear children, this is a very common problem to many of the children that come to us, to our monastery. Let's take an example. Let's take, there's a student who is studying so keenly for his exams, and he's waiting until the end of the exams to enjoy his life to the fullest. Because of the exams, he has to study, he has to stay up late in the night studying all his notes. He's taking care of going through all the notes that he have taken during the classes, and it's a very effortful thing. Burning the midnight oil, not letting yourself to have a very peaceful sleep at night. It's not easy to do. It's not simple. We know what you are going through. But after you have faced the exam, your dream day come true, and you are ready to enjoy your life to the fullest. And of course, many do. Many students, many children do experience the happiest moments of their life. But for how long? That is the question. Dear children, although you think that the things that you will do after the exams that will satisfy yourself, they are not going to satisfy as in your imagination. For example, let's say that these students who imagine that they are so reluctant to get up early in the morning because they have to go to school or go to their revision classes or whatever. Let's say. So after the exam, now they can sleep and they can wake up late in the morning. They don't have to wake up early in the morning. And on the first day, of course, we will enjoy it, having had a very peaceful sleep without any disturbances, and you can enjoy a nice breakfast. Thereafter, maybe some of them may enjoy watching a movie or hanging around with friends. And later on, towards the evening, let's say they hang out with friends and go out. They come late in the night, but against the parents' will. When you know that your parents don't like this, there is a small sound which occurs in these children's minds. They feel guilt about it. And at times, they really think whether or not they should stop it. I'm telling you this, dear children, because this is how the background is laid in your heart and mind to commit all the bad deeds that children do in this day and age. They're so innocent. They have no idea what is going on with their minds. I'm telling you, dear children, because you don't have to be a victim of your own mind, of the bad influence that you may already be having. Don't let those bad influence to ruin your life, because the life that you have as a human being is so precious. You have no idea how precious that is going to be if you understand this Dhamma. If you understand this Dhamma, contemplation will bring you liberation from all the suffering once and for all. And that is the value of the human life that you have for now. Therefore, dear children, have faith. Have faith of the merits that you do. Those merits will guide you to your own liberation. But if you have committed demerits by then, that guidance is lost. That is why, dear children, it is very important to understand what is going on with our minds. Why do we feel gloomy at times? Why do we feel so negative? And how to come out of those situations if you are already going through them. Dear children, when you know that something is bad, there will be a feeling of guilt. But if you continue to commit to that action against that feeling of guilt, dear children, that is going to be very disadvantageous for your life. And that is going to haunt you in the future. These actions, these maybe bodily actions, verbal actions, or mental actions, will come back to haunt you in the future. For example, let's say that student who tries to enjoy himself to the maximum possible level just after the exams that he have faced. If they try to do something that their parents don't like, they commit it, no matter what their parents or their elders or their teachers are going to tell them. And when they keep on doing this, at first it is difficult, because there is a voice coming from their own minds that it is not nice to do. Dear children, but when you have kept on doing this, this voice becomes reduced. You won't feel that much of guilt in your heart and mind. Therefore, it becomes easier to do. But dear children, don't forget that it wouldn't last. This feeling of pleasure wouldn't last for that long. And when you have come across some other people who are virtuous, who actually follow their parents and their elders and their teachers, when you get contact with them, that guilt will come across to your heart. That you will be confronted with this guilt and that is unavoidable. And when that comes to you to haunt you, it is unbearable. My dear children, don't let this happen to you. Therefore, always listen to your parents, your elders, and your teachers. Actually, this feeling of guilt is a safety mechanism to save you. Don't try to do against this guilt, which is a safety mechanism of the mind, to prevent yourself from committing to a bad deed. Unfortunately, my dear children, many children don't make use of this to their own safety. They try to exceed that. And when they have exceeded, they try to label themselves as bad people. They are not bad. They are innocent children. Those innocent children are themselves calling themselves as bad. Those minds tell themselves that I'm a bad person. I have done many bad things. But dear children, that was not them. That was the influence of bad association that have converted themselves into committing those actions. And dear children, the actions that they have committed in the past does not define who they are today. That is why we believe that we cannot label people, and we do not judge people according to the actions that they have committed in the past. Therefore, we hate the sins, but we love the sinner. And we know that all the sinners will have their own future depending on the actions and the views that they hold right now. And of course, all the saints had their own past. And if someone tried to label them depending on the actions that they have done in the past, the saint would never have been born. That is why, dear children, we can never judge people. We can never label people. Therefore, don't label yourself. You have no power to call yourself as a bad person. And even we don't have, or anyone don't have that power, because no one can be labeled as bad or good. The actions that they do right now will make them good or bad. Therefore, dear children, don't think that it is too late. It's never too late. You have a new beginning just in front of you. This moment is the perfect moment to correct all the mistakes that have happened in the past. And the actions that have happened in the past will not define who you are today. And don't let them, because what you have is a gift. That is why it's called the present. The present moment that you have for now is a gift. You can change yourself right now. Make use of the present moment and change yourself. And you can do this. You need some motivation. And the best motivation that you can have is from the Bodhisattva, from the Mahabodhisattva. He has failed countless times. But did he ever accept the defeat? If he had accepted the defeat, he would never have got a Lord Buddha today. He never accepted the defeat. He never gave up. He relentlessly tried with all the failures that tried to fail him. But no failures could fail him. He always rose up. He always gathered up new knowledge and new wisdom. And with each step, he learned a new lesson. We have to learn these lessons from the life of the Bodhisattva. Dear children, Only the Bodhisattva will find Nirvana, the liberation. Therefore, if you also want to find your liberation, try to be like him. Try to instill those virtues which the Bodhisattva had in his heart and mind into your minds. And these virtues, these attitudes will find you the liberation or the Nibbana one day. My dear children, these attitudes will change yourself. It will create a very positive environment in your hearts and minds, which will ultimately bring the liberation that you look forward to. This applies to all of us, my dear children. This applies to us as well. That is why we never give up. We never give up despite of all the hardships that we face. We didn't learn it from anywhere else. We learned it from our teachers. And our teachers learned it from their teachers. And it goes up to until the perfect one. It has created this noble lineage, which is undisrupted to this date. That is why, dear children, we know the value of your human life. Because in this day and age, the Dhamma is still living. It is pounding with the life for the fullest. It is pounding with life to the fullest. And the heart of the Lord Buddha's ministry is striving with life. And you have been born as a healthy human being in an era of a lively Sambuddha Shasana. That is why we know the power and we know the value of your human life more than you do. Therefore, do not label yourself as bad or do not undermine yourself. If you have undermined yourself, of course we can't help you. Because you are not ready to get the blessing of the Shasana. You are not ready to change yourself because you believe that you cannot change yourself. Then of course you cannot change yourself. But if you believe in yourself, if you believe in the power of the merits that you have done, of course you can change yourself. And it is never too late. Therefore, my dear children, do not ever underestimate yourself. Because you don't know the value of yourself. Have faith. Have faith in the merits that you have done. Keep on doing the merits. No amount of merits will be too much. You will never be overdosed with the merits that you do. It will never happen, my dear children. Keep on doing the merits. Keep on doing all the good things that you do. Help others as much as you can. All the merits that you do today will guide you, will help you towards your own liberation. One day, if not for today. Dear children, these are some facts that will help you to guide yourself towards the liberation or the supreme bliss of Nibbana. So we have discussed today, why do we feel gloomy at times and feel so negative? Because we let ourselves for the bad things to happen despite of the guilt that we have in our minds. And the fact that they will come to haunt us in the future. Therefore, we have to try and prevent ourselves getting in the bad association as well as keep continuing of the bad deeds. And we learned that one can never label themselves as good or bad. The actions that have been committed in the past will never define someone who they are today. Only the views and the actions that is being committed right now will define who they are today. All the saints had their own past, and all the sinners will have their own future. And we don't hate the sinner. We love the sinner, but hate the sins. So, with this, dear children, we are going to conclude our today's discussion. I hope you got something, you got the essence of these talks, and try to apply them in your day-to-day life experiences, and will try to change your life according to them. So, before concluding today's discussion, we will transfer the merits that we have gathered today. So, may through the power of these merits that we have gathered, may all our ancestors, if they have been born in the woeful plains, may they redeem themselves from the woeful plains and be born in the blissful plains. And out of the merits that we have acquired today, may they abstain from unmeritorious deeds, fulfill the meritorious deeds, fulfill the noble eightfold path, and attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.